But there we are. Okay, it's time to move on to Transformers, which is why the VOD has been paused, and this is now a new recording for YouTube. And we're going to start with the Hot Wheels duology, Bone Shaker and Twin Mill. Between these two, we're going to start with Twin Mill. Twin Mill is named after a Hot Wheels toy from 1969, and I think that's what the design is inspired by as well. Which did make me wonder whether Legacy Robots in Disguise universe Sideburn is based on that as well. You can see the similarity between the vehicle modes there. We'll get a proper comparison between them later on. So here's Twin Mill. We had this. We mentioned the mint on card thing the other day. I am not going to keep it mint on card. I'm going to. There you go. Mint collectors just broke something, I think. All right. That's instructions. They feel thicker than they need to be. Guess what I forgot, kids? A pair of scissors to cut into the figures. Why don't we enjoy some clips while I go and get some scissors? Oh god. That's it. I'm toast.
Stop wasting time and attack Omega's turrets!
We're invisible. Oh, there we go. We got him. What the fuck? Lydia, what is this infighting? Who are they all? Who is fighting who? Is everybody up against Lydia? Looks like it. Everyone's finally sick of Lydia. And we don't blame them, do we? Take those, thank you. I'm just gonna leave. Okay, I'm back, and I have scissors. So now I can actually set Twin Mill free. There we are. So Twin Mill comes with some flame effect parts. Just these. I think these are designed to fit on... Oh my god. Are they designed to come out of the plastic? Oh my god. Come on. Free yourself. There we go. Can't tell what size hole that is. It's either 3mm or 5mm. Maybe even 4mm. But this is Twin Mill as a car. Ooh, he rolls very well. Yeah, Twitch, you can stop telling me the prediction result is no. Okay, put that to one side. That's a nice, solid vehicle mode, fresh out of the box. It's not often I get one that is actually in vehicle mode straight away. I feel like a lot of stuff nowadays is made as a robot first. Yeah, nice and solid. Not very practical for driving because you've got these great big vents in the way. But I suppose that's why twin mill, two milling things. Yeah, it feels really great. Honestly, I think the plastic quality of the mainline stuff is really good these days. And again, this is built really solidly. You've got a nice Hot Wheels logo on the back there. Larger wheels at the back, smaller wheels at the front. Wider at the back too. I feel like this was built for drag. It's a bit funny looking on the undercarriage because there's a head. These flame effect parts are designed in such a way that they curve around the back wheels like that, so they don't catch them that easily. There we go. Although I say that, this wheel isn't actually turning. I wonder if that's a clearance issue, or maybe I put them around the wrong way. That's a possibility. But you get the idea. There they are. He's a nice shade of blue. Blue's my favourite colour, so I am partial to that. I personally do enjoy a more traditional vehicle mode, one that looks like an actual car you would find out on the street. I don't really know if this is based on anything in real life. It's certainly streamlined, but you know, Bone Shaker is based on like the sort of hot rod vintage car that you would actually see IRL. That's just me being really nitpicky, though. That doesn't mean I'm unhappy about this. I used to have some Hot Wheels when I was little, and I enjoyed the Hot Wheels that looked like the cars that I would go out and see on the road. The Doom 2 level designers can get in the fucking bin. None of that shit was logical or linear. Have you goaled, Space? Or are you ranting because you can't goal yet because of the game being an arse? Or is it both? There's no other prep to do out of the packaging, so I think we can now just go straight over to the transformation. They're a bit sticky. Oh, excuse me. Put those back on. Right. So, to turn Twin Mill into a robot, we must first break everything. Do they actually come off, or do they? Oh my god, no. Do you know what? I think they're actually meant to come off like that, because the instructions then show you holding this and rotating the vent around like that. Yes, but you resorted to using God mode, as it was just maze after maze with monsters everywhere. Ah, well, GG's all the same. You can finally put it behind you. I wonder if there's anything you could tweak if you wanted to play it again. Anything you could tweak to make it a bit less bullshitty. But if it's stuff that's a problem with the default game, then I suppose there's nothing doing. Rotate that around. And then facing the back, this bit rotates under like that. Then we split these, put them down there. And then the whole assembly opens up and extends like that. Split them, and there's the legs. Put the feet down and rotate them. Get the heels out. They just went bonkers with the level design and putting elites. Oh god. What are they playing at? There you go, there's a use for a time machine. Go back to 1990 whatever, and then give them a clout around the ear. Right, that appears to be Twin Mill's legs. They're a bit hollow, but that's fine. Up here we split the arms and they come down like that. Rotate them so the wheel's in the air. Turn the head around. Oh god, that's a stiff head. Oh fuck me. God. Arms down. Which way they got to face? That way? Yes, that way. Okay. close up the front chest. Like that, okay. And then these come back and attach to the forearms like that. Come on, you bitch. There we go. Okay. Interesting design choice to have those be like that. It does lean into parts forming, but so long as they've got somewhere to go, I don't mind. It's when there's parts forming and something has nowhere to go, that's when I get annoyed. And yeah, the flame effects go in the same place. They can go on the end of those exhaust ports, but there is twin mill. I'm going to just lower the tripod a bit. There we go. Some of it is designed to sprint through to the goal before you die, but that's not obvious until you die and have to do the level over. Ah, sounds really annoying. God damn. Well, as I said, it's over. It's done. And now you can be having to think about what you want to play next time. Here is Twin Mill's robot mode, and the robot mode is kind of like the Lego DeLorean. It's much better in hand than I think it looked on the packaging. It's more solid than I expected it to be. Nothing clips together that solidly, but when you do peg it in, it does seem to hold together really well. And he's got a very streamlined robot mode as well. I think the proportions are good. He does remind me of like Transformers Cybertron on the Speed planet. I can't remember what the planet's called, but basically it's a colony of Transformers that are dedicated to like racing to solve their problems, and they all kind of have modes like this. You know, they're built for speed, and they've got like really obvious like car parts all over them. Which, you know, again, that ties in with Hot Wheels. It's a whole franchise built around cars. He has no... Oh, he's got an Autobot badge, but they're on his legs. I think it would have been cool if there was one like here. I mean, I've got stickers. I could just put a sticker there myself, to be fair. It's not the most important thing. Yeah, it's a really nice little robot mode, I've got to say. Again, I can forgive the parts forming, although I guess these vents are like optional. They do leave the vehicle mode to be a bit gappy, but you know, what are you going to do? But I guess with these being on 5mm pegs, you can... Yeah, you can sort of wield them as little pistols. They don't sit in there all that well. They're quite shallow pegs, you can see there. They're definitely designed to be, you know, there. But again, you can just slot that on there. And slot that on there. And then he's got a pair of flamethrowers on his wrists, which is pretty fucking cool. Although, flamethrowers would be the opposite of cool, really, wouldn't they? Okay. Let's just quickly go over how posable this guy is. And I can already feel he's pretty posable. So the head is pretty stiff. But it does move, and it is on a ball joint, so he's got some upward movement, some downward movement. Not much, but they are there. And obviously you can look all the way around. Shoulders, we've kind of already seen how maneuverable they are because of the transformation, but they go all the way around. They're on a hinge that way as well, so he can do that, whatever that is. Oh, he's flapping his arms like wings. Upper arm rotation. Elbow only bends that far that way. It does bend further the other way, but I think that's more for transformation because you have to like rotate the arm around and fold it up inside the shoulder. He does have individual rotation on the wrist. Not a lot of not a lot of deluxe figures have that now. Gigawatt earlier. I don't think he's got rotating hands. What does he? He might do. No, he doesn't because they're only on a hinge for transformation. So that's a nice touch. It's nice to see that in a deluxe figure. He has waist rotation. He's actually pretty maneuverable. Hip rotation. And how good is his Jean-Claude Van Damme? Very good. Look at that. Delightful. Hot Wheels knew what they were doing. Then again, I don't know if Hasbro just had the design and made the robot themselves, or if Mattel and Hot Wheels had any input in designing this. That'd be interesting to know. I'll have to look that up. Rotation just above the knee, and then the knee bends almost exactly 90 degrees. You can see here it's a bit gappy. It's like looking at his skeleton, like a cross section of the leg. But I don't think we would have been able to get away with having panels here. There's just not enough room to keep them. Feet. They are partially on a ball joint, I think. So there's a bit of rotation around them. He's got a very nice ankle tilt, which is, again, helped by the transformation. So, you know, for such a little guy, he's got quite a lot of movement. Yeah, really good. You can kind of angle his shoulders a little bit further up if you prefer, or you can have them, like, down. I guess one is more practical than the other. So I'll just put these back on, just as somewhere to put them. But that is Transformers X Hot Wheels Twin Mill. But he is but one of two in the Hot Wheels line. Next up we have Bone Shaker, who has a much better vehicle mode than again, it's much better in person than it is than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Same again. He's just in a little clamshell. Instructions are there, and then I'll deal with that later. I think there's also the the legal declaration, blah blah blah, choking hazard, small parts, blah blah blah. Yeah. I know what a choking part is. What a choking hazard is. I certainly know what a small part is. Right, so let's set you free, good sir. Can I just pop this out? Yes, I can. He has a very interesting melee weapon, and I've just noticed it's got this very cool decal on it. It's an Autobot symbol with crossbones. That's really fucking metal. It looks a bit like a Tesla coil. It reminds me of the weapon that Frankentron has. Yeah, it's very cool. I like that. Great for bashing. Oh, yeah. This is great. What a fucking metal vehicle mode. Look at that. The skull on the front, the flames, the exhausts. And it's even got like a detailed cabin, cockpit, whatever, interior. Even a sculpted steering wheel. You can just about see it over here. But yeah, I definitely prefer this vehicle mode to Twin Mills. Something else I didn't realise, and you know, more fool me for making assumptions. I thought that Bone Shaker was a Decepticon, but he's not. You know, he's got the mean look about him, but he is actually an Autobot. You know, I kind of thought, oh, they're doing two Hot Wheels things. One's a Decepticon, one's an Autobot, but no, they're just both Autobots. So there he is, as a vehicle. Very cool, and again, rolls very well. Probably limited by the table, but I can't help that. Now the question is, does this store anywhere when he's a vehicle? It would appear not. It shows him holding it as a robot. It doesn't show it being stored anywhere as a vehicle, but let's just have a look around and see what we can find. Yeah, it's not going under here anywhere. There's too much. Oh, There's Bone Shaker's undercarriage. Just maybe some arms visible, but no obvious robot elements. Not that that's important. Oh, hang on. There's a tab just there. So you can do that. I don't know what that's meant to represent. It does fit there, so I think it's obvious. I think it was deliberate. Is it meant to like catch lightning and give him a boost? Maybe it says on TF Wiki. Let me see. I wanted to open TF Wiki anyway because I want to open up the blurb for Amalgamous Prime and Big Convoy. Bone Shaker. Right. Collaborative Bone Shaker is a deluxe class figure that transforms into a new deco iteration of the original design from 2006. An open-topped rat rod vintage car with exposed engine, multiple rib-like exhaust pipes and a silver skull for a grille. In an undocumented feature, his mace weapon slots into a port where a stick shift would normally be in a real car. Of course, its size means it sticks out of the open roof, highly evocative of the iconic Rat Fink series of hot rod art, which usually featured hot rods piloted by grotesque creatures grasping comically oversized stick shifts. Well, I've got to see that. Rat Fink. Oh god. It just links to the wiki article. It doesn't actually show any art. Alright, well there we go. So yeah, it is where you're meant to store it. It's just really unsightly. But a lot of Transformers have that kind of weapon storage. Looking at you, Masterpiece Wheeljack, and Prowl, and Blue Streak. I'm just going to quickly open up tabs for some other characters. Yeah. Oh wow. Amalgamous Prime's article is featured and is considered to be one of the most informative on this wiki. Wow. Big Convoy. There we go. Right, I've got those ready for later. Let's get on to transforming this guy. So I'm interested to see if the robot hits as hard as the vehicle. So looking at him this way, the grills come out that way. I don't mean grills, do I? I mean something else. Fold those out there. Oh, look, he's got a flying mode. Somehow. It does look like a skeleton skydiving, doesn't it? There's the arms. And there's a skeleton looking forward. Hey, listen. I've got a wild imagination, okay? That lifts up there. And then this whole assembly isn't moving like the instructions say it would. Oh, there we go. I tried to untab it a bit more. Goes like that, and then oh no, we're looking at it this way now. The seats. I think they should be tilting forward, but they're not. Oh, there we go. Forward and under like that. Ow. This is what I mean about cutting my nails short. Let's just carefully... There we go. Okay. And fold in that bit. Bring that down there. And then this bit folds up on its own in there. And it's like indicating that I pressed down on it, but I think I've got it installed where it's got to go. Pull the legs apart, and I think he wants me to bring the legs down a bit more, but I've already done that. Okay. Yeah. Next page. We're back up here. And we pull out the arms from the sides, like that. Rotate the arms forward. Flick the hands out. I think it worked that way. Okay. And on the back, skeleton grill comes up. And oh no, this whole bit folds down like that. And then that closes up on his chest and we rotate the head out. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. The arms. Oh, no, hang on. There we go. The shoulders fold in and the grill clasps over them to hold them in place. Nice. So that's that. We've got the hands facing the right way. We've put the grill in. Rotated the head around. Then these. Do they rotate? Yeah, they go backwards. Just like that, I guess. Okay. There is Bone Shaker, which is a great name. I feel like initial impressions is that the robot isn't as solid as Twin Mill. But I don't know, I mainly put that down to the feet. They feel a bit loose. And the feet are also hidden behind these bits. He still looks really fucking badass, and I think, again, it's really good proportions. You know, he's got this bit of backpack going on, but it doesn't look too garish. I mean, this bit is a bit suspect, but not that bad. You can use it to hang things on, maybe. Tuck his mace behind it. Yeah, it's interesting. I think this is one where I prefer the vehicle mode, but Twin Mill, I really enjoy the robot mode. There they are together, by the way. I like that they're a team. I'm always a big fan of teams. Like, I've got 2 Team Hot Wheels Autobots here now. I think the mace is an interesting choice. I think I would have preferred a rifle, something that can just store under the vehicle, rather than just plonk in the middle of it and create this really unsightly red zit in the middle of it all. Because, again, it's a vehicle mode that I really like. I don't enjoy that nature of weapon storage for it. Again, as with a lot of Transformers, maybe there's a better way to store it, which I will discover as I come to know the figure a bit more. This is my bulk stick. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Yeah. I do like the decoration on it, though. It kind of redeems itself that way a bit. I've just noticed there's sculpted hands holding the lights next to the skeleton, next to the skull. Very cool. Very nice detailing there. Okay, he does feel more solid than I thought at first. Can I tuck that down his back? No, not really. So, like Twin Mill, he has a head that is on a pretty stiff ball joint. So again, he can look around, look down a little bit. He can look way up, which Twin Mill couldn't. Shoulders are interesting because these wheels are like sort of armor pads. They move independently, so you can shift those up to get his arm right out. Otherwise, it only comes that far. The instructions say to like tuck the shoulders down at an angle, so you have to kind of move them independently of the shoulders. not a problem. Still the same level of movement in the shoulders. He's got upper arm rotation, and just like I mentioned with Gigawatt earlier, he doesn't have rotating wrists because the hands fold in. Gigawatt has the same thing going on. The hands fold in so they don't rotate because one direction of movement was enough, apparently. So yeah, that's the arms. These bits don't seem to clip in anywhere. Like, there's a little bit of resistance when you pin them back, but they do fold out again really easily. But, you know, coming back to the skydive idea, maybe they're wings. Maybe he can be a sort of Hell's Angel kind of thing. Minus the motorbike, more of a sort of hot rod guy. Hot rod. Waist rotation, just like Twin Mill. And how good is his spread? Is it worthy of Jean-Claude Van Damme? I'd say yes. That's a yes. They can both do the splits very well. Knees. Oh yeah, great knee bend. Much better than Twin Mills. That might be aided by the transformation. Still very cool. The feet. So this is the front of the foot, but the ankle tilt is behind it. So this is the actual foot. I like that it's like the back of the chair. So like these are the seats that we saw in the vehicle mode. They become the feet, which I quite like. I like that transformation detail. That does mean that his feet is limited though. Like there's a bit of a tilt that way, but that doesn't really, you know, what does that aid itself to? The fact that he can just fall over better. So there's that's pretty much all the foot action you're getting. Giggity. But, you know, overall, I quite like having these collaborative efforts. It's nice to see what inspirations Hasbro gets from these other franchises and companies. I don't know if they still do, but Mattel for a long time did the Power Rangers, didn't they? God, can you imagine if they did a collaborative effort with Transformers, a Megazord, but then the individual components have their own robot modes? I would be so all over that. If they did that for like a Hasbro Pulse, a Hasbro HasLab, I would go in for that. I love a combining robot. I do love Power Rangers. I loved Power Rangers as a kid. I didn't have many of the Zords or Megazords growing up because Transformers took over. But yeah, if Transformers and Power Rangers did a crossover, sign me, and I cannot stress this enough. Sign me up. Twin Mill, Bone Shaker, done. We will see their vehicle modes again later on. Up next, we are going back in time to the dawn of the Transformers with Amalgamous Prime. Gonna have to angle that up. There we go. Amalgamous Prime is one of the 13 original Primes, who were created by Primus to battle and defeat his nemesis Unicron. A gentle, good-natured prankster, Amalgamous Prime was the trickster of the 13 and the master of change. Sound like anyone we know? Sheogorath. Sorry, Sheogorath. He could instantaneously assume just about any shape he could imagine. Amalgamous's curious nature and independent mind meant that he rarely stayed in one place for very long. His equally mutable scythe mimicked his own whimsical form, constantly changing from one shape or state of matter to another. Supposedly, he would go on to found the Shifters, who took after his fluid and malleable nature. So, in short, Amalgamous Prime is the god/prime of transforming, of transformations. His artifacts are, of course, his scythe, but he also comes with T-cogs, or transformation cog, if you will. Let's crack him open. I've been very interested in this one because, like it said on the wiki article just there, he can turn into pretty much anything. I don't know how flexible that is, but I think there's been several like fan modes already This isn't what he looks like, by the way. This is just how they've packaged him, because he is he presents himself as sort of hunched over. He's got 4 arms. Well, I mean, we've all got 4 arms. I've got 4 arms, but he has 4 arms and 2 legs. So I'm kind of interested to see what alt modes I can kind of cobble together. I'm kind of interested in seeing if I can make my own like spaceship for him. I think I've seen a fan mode where someone's got it so that he's like a drivable vehicle that my Cronus Prime can ride. There you go, it's a cool little piece there. I don't think these are accessories, these are just part of him. And I think this is like the base of the scythe. And there's like a little gun for him. That's just a bag. Instructions. Guff. He's also modular. Like you can pull his arms off and attach them elsewhere, among other things. So the scythe, does this fit up to here? No. That does fit there. There you go. I mean, that's a pretty mean looking melee weapon. I quite like that. I like that this can fold down and you can have it as like a club, maybe. Oh, there you go. You can attach that on there. Or, actually, that's a better fit for it. It can go there. There you go. We'll see if the instructions are correct with that. Let's release the Prime himself. There's actually quite a few of the Primes in my collection now. I think the only ones missing are Quintus Prime has been released somewhere. So I still need to get him. He's the one who is like a squid person. Nexus Prime and Liege Maximo have certainly been announced. I don't know if they're releasing anytime soon. But after then, I think we're almost at 13. Vector Prime still needs to make another appearance. Oh, come on. What is stuck in here? What have I not released? That bit, okay. Come on. Set yourself free. There we go. Oh. Just had to dismember the poor guy. That's right, he's meant to. I didn't know his head could come off like that, though. It's a bit barbaric. That's totally barbaric. That's Transformers chess. Just putting more shit off the table. Okay, I would love to just start pulling him apart and trying to figure out how it works, but we'll do the instructions. Okay, so out of the box, we fold these up and pull them apart and down. Yeah, like that. He's got lovely tight joints already. Again, very nice build quality in these modern Transformers. Okay, I need to put the head back on. That whole assembly, whoops, rotates around. And looks up, and then this whole bit comes down like that, and then rotates. Does that need to go in any further, or is that it? No, that's it. Let's not force it. Don't want to break anything. Yeah, good. Then swing this arm forwards. Oh, wow. He has many tight joints, does Amalgamous Prime. So there's two arms. Oh god. Let's see. Very modular. And there's another arm. And there's another arm. Okay. God, he does look weird, but that's really cool. I like it. I like weird. The weirder the Prime, the better. He is meant to be like one of the first, after all. Oh, look at that! I was spot on with his spear, his scythe, in terms of putting the pistol bit up at this end. Oh, and then we've got to put these bits on. These plug in here. Ah! Are you going to be a problem, sir? Yeah, okay. The way he's hunched over and the way he holds the scythe, and maybe even the multiple arms. I can't remember if they do have multiple arms. Not the Skeksis, the other race, hunched over race from the Crystal something, whatever it's called, that film. Oh god, the Jim Henson one. The Dark Crystal, that's it. Doesn't help me find the name of what I'm trying to think of anyway. There's Amalgamous Prime. It's a really interesting robot mode. I really like this. I like that he's got multiple limbs. I like that he can... It's up to your imagination what he turns into. There is a guide for what to turn him into, which is like this kind of four-legged crab mech thingy. Oh, it does show a few things, actually. It shows that, but then it also shows taking off miniature parts of him and having like some drones. I'm showing you, but you can't really see. Like, there you go, that's the main bit, and then these are the alternative modes. What I was looking forward to doing was turning him into the main mode, this kind of walking crab, but then taking the parts off and turning him into something else and just letting my imagine go with it. My imagination. The Mystics and the Gelfling. I think it was the Mystics I was thinking of. Thank you, Space. So I mentioned that he had T-cogs. One of them is actually inside his head. You can kind of see it there. It's that thing in there. So, yep, that hinge opens up. And there's the cog. Does it come out? Yeah, I know it. I know the back of it kind of forms his eye. Oh fuck! There you go. It's out. Transformation cog. Yeah, so that lives inside his head, which I think is a nice place for it because he's the prime of transformation. So like, he's always got transformation on the mind, literally. And yeah, like the back of it forms the eye. Okay. Where's the other T-cog? I'm sure it said he comes with two. Maybe I misread the wiki article, which I've closed. Never mind. Okay, let's take a look at the robot mode before we transform him. Again, I really like the look of it. I think he looks really good on camera. He is, of course, inspired by the aligned continuity, where he's just this massive a mess of parts, basically. which he is. He's also inspired by his look from Transformers 1, where he does have that kind of like shockwavy head, multiple limbs, and of course carrying a scythe. Very cool stuff. As for his movements, there are many. As we've seen, his head can look up and down individually on that hinge, but you can also it comes off really easily on there. I kind of wish that was a bit tighter, but you can also like rotate his head sideways like that from the back of his neck. Oh, excuse me. There's like a huge gap at his back, and I'm not sure if that's something I've done wrong or if it's no, I don't know. No, I'm sure it'll become obvious in the instructions. His shoulders, which both arms mount on, they rotate on the but both together like that. But they also they work on the same hinge joint, so the arms can move in unison, or they can move separately like that. All of the arms have upper arm rotation, elbow rotation, because they unplug from the elbow as well. They also have elbow joints. Oh, I think the hand should have been that way. Wheels down. Yes, those are wheels right there. Yeah, that's better. That gives him a more natural elbow bend now. All of the arms have rotating wrists like that, and they can all flop over like that as well. So fully articulated arms, all 4 of them, which is great. I think it does remind me of Onyx Prime, who also had multiple limbs. But this is like exaggerated. Like he has, like Onyx Prime had multiple like beast limbs. So that was like, you know, centaur legs or beast mode legs or whatever. These are just 4 arms. He has a waist rotation like that. That moves really well. That's really smooth. Hip rotation, again, very stiff. There's something about the Vitruvian Man about him as well, isn't there? Is that what it's called, the Vitruvian Man? The Vitruvian robot. Hey, Robo. Hello, Joe. Welcome to Transformers Tuesday. I'm getting knee-deep in more plastic crack. How are you, good sir? Amalgamous Prime can also do a very good Jean-Claude Van Damme. I've also just found his waist is on a ratchet side to side. So I'm not sure what the purpose of that is, but that could offer some dynamic posing. Whoops. There you go. Modular limbs announcing themselves there. Knees. There you go. Yeah, they can bend that way or that way. He does kind of have chicken legs, so they don't straighten out. Like this is the best you're going to get. He's got that kind of knee rotation there. We've just seen there's bending there as well. It can bend quite a way, actually. Toys! Indeed. I'm good, thank you. Oh, speaking of toys, here comes the latest Toy Story Racers champion of 2026. Martin from up north. Hello, Tin. Good evening, welcome. Joe's good. Good to hear, good to hear. Oh, no, Space. Space, quick. Do it again. Foot tilt there, which is, you know, really doesn't a 90-degree tilt there. Quite a lot of movement, which is to be expected, given that the guy's got multiple limbs, as I keep saying, and as is obvious. Okay. I'm just going to put the scythe back in his hand, and we will show him next to some of our other 13 primes. So there's Amalgamous. Here is Micronus Prime in his mech suit. And then here is Primer Prime who sort of serves as like the average normal robot form. And I just wanted to see what a stark difference these two have. Tin is currently on the exercise bike, but I am here. Nice, nice. I need to get me one of those. Although, Tin, I do wish you were riding me instead of that thing. Sad. Toy Story Racer Extraordinaire, indeed. Oh, good on you, Tin. Good on you. You're setting an example. And it's nice to see. Right, cool. So there he is with some of the other primes. Let us now turn to transforming this guy. You wish that too. Okay. Step 1. Pull off his head. Pull off his shoulder light thingies. Take his scythe away. Oh, no, forget that. That's just telling me how to get the T-cog out. I've already done that. So I think I actually need to put some pieces back. The head goes back on, but those little shoulder pieces are still gone. These bits rotate down. The head comes down like that. And then this bit. Yeah, this piece here moves. I can't get it out. His head really enjoys popping off. Sad. Oh, come on. There we go. Just had to free that up a bit. Why did I trim my nails today of all days? Like, the instructions show this whole assembly like leaning forward, but it's just, it doesn't want to move. I'm worried that I'm putting unnecessary stress on part of him now. But if it's... Oh, God. Is this whole bit in the way? Ah, there we go. Right, finally did it. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. I'm just going to leave his head off for the minute because it just keeps coming off anyway. Yes, that has rotated out. This whole back piece folds in there. Is that as far as it goes? Is it meant to go a bit further? No, I think that's it. And then he's got this 5mm peg on the back, which also folds around that way. Yeah. And then we close this back up. After all that effort, we just hide the goddamn thing. Cool. Lift this whole bit up, which I've already done. Rotatey or the waisty. And then tip all of that forward. tabs on the legs that it wants the... Hang on, what? Which way are we facing? So we've got the knees here. This bit's flipped around that way, yeah. Then it shows... the legs picking into those. Okay. Like this, I guess. Okay, so we end up with that. He really does look like some sort of chicken there, doesn't he? The smaller legs, the big round body. I feel like I could fold these up, maybe use something to make a beak. Like that, some sort of turkey dinosaur thing. Oh, I don't know. Pagan heard a joke today, it made you giggle. Uh-oh. Will it make us giggle? I feel like we're about to find out. Tell us more. Okay, that closes there, and the legs are folded up around there. We are now turning over the great page of the instructions. Put those bits there. What do you call a drummer's two girls? And a 1 and a 2. Nice and corny. Very good. Thank you very much. Any drummers in the chat who want to appreciate that joke? Speak up now. Okay, fold that down. Is that just sitting on the back? Yes, it is. Right, the head, which I have previously written off, I will now reattach it for the purposes of this. The head just folds down like that, is it? I feel like it needs to move further. Yeah, I think it does. Yep, there you go. Like that. And is that... I think it's just like that. Potentially. This looks a bit unsightly though. Not the worst joke Soph's heard today. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, the feet are meant to be angled up. Oh, I see. There we go. There's a tab on the back of the upper legs that hold them together like that. Oops. I feel like I'm constantly battling this this head. Ah! Why? Why you do this? God, I feel like this isn't right at all, but the joints are so stiff that I feel like I'm about to break it, and I don't want to do that, so I don't move them any further. So now, arms. What are the arms doing? So stiff. Okay. So we want... these bits as the front? Oh, these bits as the front legs. Okay. So I'm going to rotate this all the way around. Ah, fuck's sake. Soph's been lurking between eating, paperwork, and other bits and bobs. How be the build going? Oh, well, the Lego's done and dusted. I've opened 2 of the Transformers. This is number 3. There will be a 4th one once I've had my fill of this guy. Okay. Okay, I think we've finally got somewhere with the legs. I've now got to do the same on this side. Rotate that around. Fuck that. There we go. Okay. Again, a most unique alt mode. But again, Amalgamous Prime is meant to be able to turn into whatever he fucking well likes. So if he wants to turn into a walking crab bot, so be it. You've been busy. I've really been lost in the sauce. Indeed. It's never a dull day when I've got Transformers on the table. Excuse me. So next up, it says pull apart these bits just a little bit. We take the scythe and do that with it, which I've kind of done already. Then it plugs in here. Oh no, other way. Whoops. And then the legs here, they kind of close around it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Right, that's his official alternate mode. A kind of walking crab thing. Yeah, okay. I quite like that. I kind of feel like he's turned from one walking robot to another walking robot. But I guess this is kind of similar to like an artillery mode, like Timeline's Megatron or Galvatron. Indeed, they just turn into something that just stands still and shoots for the most part. This is just something that walks and shoots, like a robot would. I don't know. I think I'm more interested in what else this guy can turn into. Very leggy. And when he's oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the difference. This is his leggy mode, and then when he's in the form we saw earlier, that's his army mode. Right. So let's turn him into those little modular bits before we move on to big convoy. So we just take off all the different pieces. Take off these, take off these, take off these. So this is something I can understand. I can just take off the respective parts and then change them into whatever they need to be later on. Does his head need to come off? It doesn't officially say I need to take him off, but there we go, I'll just do that. he's just a mess of parts now. Okay. So we take these forearms and bend this bit up like that, so the wheels are down and the hands are sort of down angled toward the ground. And then the other arm does the same thing. Rotate that up, rotate the hand upwards, and they, oh, that's cool. There's like these little pegs on the back of these arms that you wouldn't see normally. So that tabs together like that, and then you've got a little, some kind of weird little skateboard thing. I love it. Or we can pull them apart and attach them to either side of this. And I think this is meant to be like some kind of small tank, maybe? Don't know, but it's saying that's one of the official little drone modules. So there we are. Then these arms. Yep, hands facing the right way. We fold out these little wing pieces. Same here. And then tab them together there. And we get, oh, there you go. See, there's like a, to angle the hands down a bit more. There's some gold sculpting on these forearms that is like a cockpit. So there's a little small flying craft. There you go. Very nifty features. And then just like the previous one, you can pry these apart, attach it to either side of these. And then I guess you could see those as like his eyes. Or like versions of them. So there's two modular pieces. Next we need the feet and the scythe. So straight away it shows to plug these in. What, there? Oh, that does work. Interesting. There you go. Oh, that kind of works. See, yeah, that is kind of, again, like a sort of artillery bit. His feet kind of have these moulded treads on them for like tank modes and such. Very playable. I can see, like, child me, if I had this, I would have gone absolutely mental. It would have blown my mind. I would have been like, this is the best Transformer ever. Just because of how much it can do. Alright, so I've done that. Oh, then it wants these bits again. So they don't all operate at the same time. Or is this just another alternate mate? Oh yeah, this is just another alternate build, I think. So if we bring it back to just the two arms pinned together like that. Oh, nice. Something else I didn't notice. There's two halves of a peg there. So they can sit on a 5mm port like this. So you've got that sitting on there. And then these pieces go either side of the tank treads. I may have had them. I may have them facing the wrong way. Whoops. There we go. There we are. So that's another mode suggestion. Some sort of tank with a big old tail behind it. Yeah, that's it. I think the rest of it is just left up to the imagination. So put the instructions there. And I mean, what do we end up with this? It's just like some sort of slug mode. He just sits there and is useless. No, I'm sure he's not useless. Again, I think this is something I'm going to have to just take my time with and just see what creations I can make. Which is not something I've thought of for any Transformer in my collection. Which I think is really nice. It's so very different from what I normally have from a robot. Like, this is a guy who is literally designed to turn into a whole bunch of things. An amalgam, if you will. It's funny because he's called Amalgamous Prime. I'm still not totally confident on how the whole neck movements are. Like, this bit is like stuck here now, but I feel like earlier it was able to like close this grey gap here. His head keeps coming off. Pain in the butt. I might just... See, I can't even sit it there. He's got too many headpieces in the way. Anyway. There you go, we'll have him sitting there like that. Yeah, imagination. There you go. My imagination. It looks like a Corvette from I think you said Starfield. Looks like a Corvette from No Man's Sky, doesn't it? See, there's the jets at the back. Down he comes. Oh, you can't land there. There's something in the way. So on and so forth. But, you know, again, it's still really cool. I don't really have many thoughts on it because I feel like I haven't explored everything this thing has to offer. But I do really like the robot mode, and I love what possibilities are opening up in terms of turning them into things. So now that we've done Amalgamous Prime, we have one more thing to open. And that is... Whoops. Big Convoy, who turns into a fucking woolly mammoth. Ah, yeah, I've been waiting for this for a long while. While most Maximal Supreme Commanders are known for being level-headed, friendly bots, Big Convoy, Big ol' Convoy, that's what the wiki says, I'm not being racist, breaks the mould. A gruff, solitary robot who knows little of teamwork, this lone wolf prefers to wander the galaxy alone, fighting battles in his own unique way. And boy can he fight them. He is known throughout the Maximal ranks as the one-man army, a gargantuan bruiser of a warrior with a huge arsenal of weaponry built into his body that lets him do the work of a whole battalion all on his lonesome. Most famously, his gigantic signature weapon, the only thing he claims to trust, the Big Cannon. Great naming there. Vector Sigma has taken a special interest in Big Convoy, assigning him a task well outside his field of expertise. Training instructor for a batch of new recruits freshly minted from the Maximal Military Academy. While being a leader and a teacher don't come easy to him, Vector Sigma is there to back him up, often speaking through him via the Energon matrix in his chest. And with each lesson in warfare, Vector Sigma has him impart to his new recruits. Big Convoy, in turn, learns a lesson about friendship and teamwork that brings him closer to his men. There you go, Big Convoy, who did appear in the cartoon with Leo Convoy, who is floating around here somewhere. Yeah, he's over there. A mammoth, I know. And I mean, what are the chances that I would get into a franchise where eventually I would own a Optimus Prime adjacent figure that turns into one of my favourite prehistoric creatures? Incredible. Yeah. Convoy was the original Japanese name for the toy that would then become Optimus Prime. But when the Transformers franchise was made, in Japan, he was still called Convoy. But so at the end of in 1986, when the Transformers the movie came out, the timeline split off in two different directions. You've got the Western version and the Eastern version of events. So in Japan, they didn't resolve the movie the way the West did. In Japan, Optimus Prime, spoiler alert, died, and they kept it that way. So the next leader of the Autobots ended up being... there was numerous people who kind of stepped into the shoes. But in the next follow-up cartoon, it was Jinrai, who turned into Super Jinrai and then God Jinrai. But Jinrai looked like Optimus Prime, but was not Optimus Prime. Okay? So, when the series evolved into Beast Wars in the West, again, Japan had their own Beast Wars cartoons. In fact, I think they had 3. They had Beast Wars Neo, Beast Wars Second. Actually, no, I think it was just those two, sorry. Beast Wars Neo and Beast Wars Second. And that's where we get Leo Convoy and Big Convoy. But I think they borrow the name of Convoy as inspiration of Optimus Prime. They're not actually a direct link to Convoy, Optimus Prime. I can't explain it very well. Chris McFeely on YouTube does very good Transformers basics videos, and he puts it a lot more succinctly than I can. Now, I've opened this box, and I haven't fucking got into it yet, because I'm trying to explain the lore. I'm not here for that. I'm here to play with plastic crack. Ooh. Oh, there you go. There's the big cannon. Looks like a turd, doesn't it? Sorry, let's move this out of the way. We don't need that there. His bag of accessories includes his tusks, which I love. Okay. There you are. Og. There we go. Ivory. It's fine. I haven't hunted him down for the ivory. I'm letting him keep it. These are non-firing missiles that shoot out of his calves. There's a little handgun. There's his tusks. So when the wiki said that the big cannon is built into his body, they weren't kidding. There it is, pretty much. And you can see that's kind of the entire length of his mammoth mode, hiding it. He is an absolute unit, and that's why I love him. I'm just tidying that up a bit, but we'll see how this works when I open the instructions. Excuse me. And now we get the man himself. Ooh, excuse me. Nope, still not done. Still a few more things to snip. Almost a mammoth skin rug. Yeah. Although again... Yeah, it would come out that way, wouldn't it? You get the main bit over and done with, and that's like where most of your effort goes. But then you just give one little squeeze, and then there's just a little bit of the trails off at the end. I shouldn't be so disrespectful to a robot I've been eagerly anticipating. Like, literally, when I saw it in Forbidden Planet, I went... which made Hannah laugh. He's a lot stockier than Leo Prime, that's for sure. I've got no idea where these brown pieces are meant to go. He's fucking awesome, though. He's got such a great colour scheme. Like, the paint apps on here are really good. I love that this is kind of an off-gold colour. Like, it's a lot more, shall we say, piss yellow. Okay, take that, put you over there. Scoop these up and put those over there too. Ugh. Why can't they use twist ties? That might even be more irritating than the plastic ties. Okay. Does it have a section for taking them out of the box? 5? I know that is very much transformation. So here, see, normally they include a little picture to show that this is what you do when he's out of the box. I think that goes like that. Good grief. Okay. Is this the right tusk for this side? Yeah, I'll be honest, that's a bit disappointing in that it doesn't have an out-of-the-box step-by-step guide to get him like into the default robot mode, and then you go into the accessory bits. Instead, it's just thrown me in at the deep end. I've just noticed a mammoth eye painted there looking at me. I mean, he is meant to be big and clunky, so got no problem with that at all. And there is weapon storage, even for the big cannon. Let's just look at the instructions, what they say. Maybe we'll find our way to the default robot mode as we go. So it says to lift his hands up and attach these to his wrists. Like that. So I guess they're whips or some kind of weird hook weapons. They wouldn't really be whips because they're supposed to be chitinous or keratin. And he can hold his pistol. Yes, indeed he can. And that's it. That's all it shows for that. Oh, nice. If we take these off again, he can flip these down, and he's got these as additional weapons, which I quite like. I guess that was like mixed combat, melee and ranged. But then here, can't get this out now. There we go. So he's got these wrist-mounted weird club thingies. And then it also says to attach these into his hands. Whoops. They are very tight. They're not going in there easily. There you go. So he's got those as like melee weapons as well. So I guess this is his melee attack mode. Okay, actually shows these to be down here. Thought I knew what I was doing. There we go. Oh, this is kind of helpful. This is showing the weapon storage. Right. So take everything out. We'll fold these away. They weren't kidding when they said he's like a one-man army, because he does have a lot of weapon and storage space on him. Okay. So that... I don't think it matters which way the tusks go. Is that right? Swap them around. Ah, no, that looks right. I know that in the cartoon his tusks kind of point upwards from his shoulders. So... yeah, like that, I guess. That's a pretty, you know, what a silhouette that is. Then the handgun. Yep, clips onto his back there, and it's showing this back piece coming off at an angle. Oh yes, it is meant to come off at an angle because oh, hang on, before we get onto the big cannon. this is where these store. There you go. Like I said, they shoot out of his calves, so in reference to that, the storage place for them is on his calves. That bit's actually come off. That's not good. I don't want to jump the gun, but I think mine might be misassembled. This ball joint piece here kind of folds out that way, or that way, and it's meant to line up with this socket here. But if we look at this side, it seems to fold in a different direction. Hang on, if I pop this out, I might be able to make it a bit clearer. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I'll double check the instructions, but look at these ball joints. They're facing the same way, but for a left or right, this one is meant to be facing like out that way. And it does, but in a different direction. Let me just check the instructions. Kind of hard to see. I mean, it might be deliberate. It might be how it's meant to be. God, the instructions don't make it clear. Right. Times like this, I will consult the TF wiki. So let's go big Convoy again. Then Age of the Primes. Big Convoy is a faithful recreation of his animation model, transforming into a mammoth with posable trunk, front shoulders and ears. Deployable tonfas. Is that what those red things are? 2 handheld mammoth Heckens. Flip up shoulder armor to reveal sculpted missiles. And hip mounted mammoth legs that flip around to form cannons. The wiki doesn't mention anything about misassembly, although who she is I don't know. Maybe I will just roll with it. And now I don't remember which part this was. Was this that side or that side? I think that way. Oh, well, I mean, the mammoth pieces do still fold around his leg the way they're meant to. So maybe those pieces are meant to face that way. Maybe I'm just panicking over nothing. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, there's the missile pods on the shoulder armor. Okay, right, we'll roll with that for now. Right, I was finding a home for these, wasn't I? Let's open up the instructions again. Other side. Here. Oh, I may have put them on the wrong way. Oh god, okay. Okay. You attach those to the side of the leg and then this covers them up. Although it doesn't cover them up very well. See, I think that looked better the other way. But that is how they attach, so fine. Right. Storage for the big cannon. So, yeah, like that. And then that hole there. Tabs on there. There you go. That's that's the big cannon storage. That's made him a bit back heavy. Let's tilt him forward. And look, there you go. He's hidden trunk cannon. It's utterly ridiculous. I don't think it's out of character. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be like that. But again, kind of like what I said about, what I said about Twin Mill with those pieces that come off his forearms. Yes, it's parts forming, but I don't mind it because they've got somewhere to go. Same with this gigantic cannon hanging off the back of Big Convoy here. Okay. So another little secret this guy has. He has... what was this called? Oh, apparently it's called a Matrix Cannon Blaster as well. This isn't the Matrix of Leadership, this is something else. And he can hold it in both hands if required. So he can like hold it in front of him. What did the wiki call it? Gifted to him by Vector Sigma, it's the... Oh, it's just called an Energon Matrix, but I don't think it's the Matrix of Leadership. But it's like some sort of equivalent. So, there we go. And while we've got him in robot mode, as God intended, let's show him with Leo Convoy. They're a similar height. I'll be interested to see what they look like in their respective beast modes. Although to save time, I might just show that in Discord or maybe even Instagram. Don't know. But they are like both heroes of their own story, so they look similar. They're a similar height. I don't know. I think they pair off quite well together. And they've both got these great hunking pieces of animal hanging off their shoulders and backs and whatnot. So they've got that in common too. Cool. Thank you, Leo Convoy. Leo Prime. It's Leo Convoy, Leo Prime. It's one of the two. My only weakness is narrow doors. Yep, you're not wrong. Okay, it's shown the shoulder armor bits, but I've done that. Now, the big cannon, it does have a way of being set up for use, so we'll take it off. And then these pieces on the side fold out and rotate that way a little bit. This rump folds down, and then this bit comes up, and then a black structure falls out of it. Then there's this little handle folds out, and then something extends. That extends. Okay, yeah. Put big Convoy's arm out. He has too much going on to hold it. How did they expect this to get done in the design process? Oh, okay, there's a groove in the shoulder. Hang on, if I move this out of the way as much as I can. Still not. There we go. I've partially transformed his back armor in the hopes that that gives him enough room to hold this. It kind of works. But there you go. That's the Matrix Cannon / Big Cannon, however you want to call it. And if you look at where it is in relation to the Mammoth, it fires out of the Mammoth arse. It's so ridiculous. Look at the size of that. It's cool that it's built into him, though. It's not like a command deck like G1 Prime with his trailer. This is basically his backpack. It unfolds into a disintegrate you into atoms gun. No wonder he was able to hold his own. In fact, I think he was able to hold his own against Unicron because of this gun. I think that was just through kind of skim reading some episodes of the cartoon. Right. Now that we've covered all that, let's talk about the robot mode articulation. And it is there, believe me, despite all of this going on for him. I will just detach those and put them back where they were. He's kind of like Amalgamous Prime in that he has a lot of moving parts, which kind of helps get to those awkward positions that you need for some of the limbs. Okay, so Big Convoy has a slightly ball-jointed head, I think. You can, excuse me, look around and look up and down slightly. That's fine. Shoulders, when there's no kibble blocking them, you can lift them up that far. Lift them up that way and that way. Bend his elbow just over 90 degrees there. God, I'm glad that these bits are soft plastic because I keep grabbing them to move his head around and they don't really have much give. So if they were hard plastic, they probably would have snapped off by now. Okay. He has a waist swivel. Which I guess is limited by where these mammoth limbs can go that are just sticking out behind him, and the instructions say that's where they go, but they do move. They sort of unclip and you can like angle them upwards, which I think looks a little bit tidier. Still not perfect though, but they don't fold down. So if you want to move them down, that's as far as they go. Or you could flop them down like that if you wish. Now, I don't think he... Oh, I don't know, he might be able to do a good Jean-Claude Van Damme. Let me see. Oh, okay. It's not the greatest, but, you know, it's pretty good for given the size of this guy. Pretty good Jean-Claude Van Damme. He has knee rotation and upper thigh rotation, so you can kind of give him a gammy leg. When I rotate the lower limb, it does seem to prioritise the knee, so I guess if you want to rotate the upper thigh, you have to bend him at the knee first and get that leverage to rotate the upper thigh. Although it does seem to move just by pinching your fingers on there like that. So that works too. Knee bend, again somewhat limited by pieces of mammoth, but it, you know, it's a good enough bend for what you need it to do. He has a heel tilt there. Not really much movement, more movement in the feet other than that. But I mean, honestly, it's utterly ridiculous. But I really enjoy this robot mode. I love how bulky he looks. I love the color palette, and I love the fact that his entire back and arse becomes a huge gun. Like, it makes me want to watch the Japanese Beast Wars series, which featured such other lovable characters as Long Rack, a giraffe. Sorry, Long Rack is the giraffe. Who else did it have? Break, who turns into a penguin. I think it's pronounced break and not breek, as in beak. Oh. There we go. God, many weird and wonderful things in the Japanese Beast Wars cartoons. Okay, let us attempt to turn this guy into a mammoth. I say attempt because I haven't ruled out the possibility that these might be assembled wrong. We will have to see. Maybe I'll be able to transform them anyway. I mean, these pieces do seem to be where they're meant to be for the robot mode. So let's hope that they are the same for vehicle? Mammoth. Okay, rotate these back. I think I want to take the tusks off. It might be possible to transform him with them attached, but the instructions don't show him with them on. Alright, so that bit folds backwards. Oh, let's take the pistol off as well, because that's getting in the way. Turn the head around. And, oh god, they actually move. They're not just soft plastic, their little antenna moves. Excuse me. Rotate these around completely. And fold them that way and peg them together. It's kind of what I did earlier anyway. And then that way. There you go. Oh god, yeah, those are the ears, and you can see the painted eyes there. Looking a bit cursed with this great big thing missing there, but we'll get there. Fold the ears back up. That's where they're meant to be. Coming down to the arms. Rotate those around so the mammoth pieces are facing forward. Stick the arms up that way. Oh, interesting. And then turn him this way, and the whole shoulder assembly turns around that way. Cool. Oh, I didn't mention it, he also has individually rotating wrists. He's also, I've just noticed, he's got mismatched forearms. One is silver, one is white. Huh. Okay, then back facing this way, these limbs fold down like that. And then we rotate these all the way this way. Like that. And these fold up here into there. I'm assuming they do. Yeah. There you go. So we've got the stubby little feet of a mammoth there with a little bit of motion on them. You can do the can-can. Okay, done. Now the lower limbs. Here we go. So start by folding these out. Then fold these out. Oh, I wonder if these are meant to store somewhere else in mammoth mode. Doesn't actually show them going anywhere, so I'm going to leave them where they are. So open these out and fold the toe up. And then it says to close these again. Except they don't close very well when the feet are in there. Is that right? Oh, I think it actually just wants them there. No, it does want them closing up. Oh, there you go. That one actually moved. Oh, okay. They just have to click a little bit. Good. Okay. Then rotate leg thus. And they peg together. Yeah. Back this way. Okay. Oh, it's so close. Is this broken? Oh, no, hello. Not broken, is it misassembled rather? Because the direction it wants me to move this whole piece isn't going where it's meant to. Let me see if this does it. Yeah, this bit worked as intended. These red things, the pegs are so tight on them, I might have to sand them down a little bit. Okay, I just took it off because I worried it was flexing on there a bit. So that's what we need to end up with. Fold those in there. But on this side, yeah, this hinge. Yeah, I think he's misassembled, because this ball joint hinge here, it doesn't let this whole bit slide that direction to close up this side, just like this is. Like, this is meant to be the belly of the beast, but it won't close up properly. That's real. That's a real shame. It's held together by a pin joint, which I don't think is impossible to pry apart. I might have to invest in like a pin hammer. I think that's what I've heard someone use before. But I might also do some research and see if anyone else has had it on theirs. But if I can do that much of the transformation, maybe I can still get something that looks like a mammoth out of this. So I'll just kind of hang it there loosely for now. So now I think it's meant to bend at the knee, so I need to rotate these around again. Okay. There we go. That's what we need on this side. Only I can't quite do it because of the disassembly. But let's again, let's just see what I can get away with. That's the best I could do on that side. We will have something that will resemble a mammoth. Right, I've tucked the feet away, and now this, it shows that it can store here somewhere. Oh, you can just go on the side of the mammoth hide, just in there. And I imagine these can do something similar. Although again, it's not shown in the instructions. Very peculiar. Let's put you there. And this one. I know this chap is capable of having storage solutions for everything, so. There you go, I found some homes for the red missiles, they're there now. Okay. Then the arms down. And onto there. That side can't close properly, this side can. Well, the big cannon fell into place quite easily. I didn't really need the instructions to do that. So again, that's a glaring mistake there. It's annoying that it's just that one bit. I'm not even sure if it's worth like trying to get new parts or return it or anything. I think I might just be able to try it myself. I've been thinking about getting a pin hammer for some other Transformers anyway, where I need to readjust some bits. Okay. I can rotate the tusks a little bit, but you know, we'll just ignore this mistake here. We'll just have him that way. There is Big Convoy as a mammoth. Ta-da! It's really cute. It reminds me of the kind of, you know, static, like single model, non-posing, like creatures you can get, like prehistoric animals. But Big Convoy can pose. He can fold his ears back a little bit. They can also come forward and hide his eyes when he's feeling shy. As I said, there's rotating tusks, although in the real world the tusks wouldn't rotate, so we'll leave them static. His trunk can go all the way up there, so he can spray someone sitting on his back, or he can kind of tuck it down a little bit. That looks a bit uncomfortable though, so that's very cute. Nothing on the back legs really, at all. That's all fixed in place for transformation, but you can move his forward limbs just at the shoulders, and if you tip them forward they do obviously affect his balance. Can he put one leg in the air? Yes. So he can still vote as a mammoth. But incredible robot mode. Very chuffed with it. And yeah, this misassembled piece, just have to do some research, see what I can do about it. But in tradition of Transformers unboxings, let's bring out the whole crew, everyone we've looked at tonight. Especially because my estimate was that I would take 2.5 hours. I've taken 3.5. Bone Shaker and Twin Mill. So starting from Twin Mill and Bone Shaker, let's turn them back into their original forms from the packaging they were in. Yeah, okay. Then fucking nailed it. That was really fun to do without the instructions. That was really easy, satisfying transformation. I noticed it a lot more when I wasn't relying on the instructions. Yeah, sans effect parts, there's Twin Mill. How did this bit go? Like that, okay. Just had to figure out how the arms tuck away, and they tuck away like that. Cool, that's that bit done. Did the legs need to rotate? I don't remember. Let me see. No, they didn't need to rotate. Cool. Cool. Same on this side then. Cool. There's Bone Shaker, transformed back into vehicle mode. So that's them. And now Amalgamous Prime will have to be restored to robot mode. For that is how he was packaged. Oh yeah. I have to remember all the little cavities that you can store things in. The fucking head, man. Oh, and of course this bit I was trying to... There you go. Oh, that opened really easily. Why couldn't it do that earlier? Right, fold that up. Bring that out. Close that again. Okay. Right, where'd the head go? There. I will put his head on last. Right, fold those bits up. There's the torso at least. Oops. Cool. Which were the lower limbs and which were the upper arm limbs? Maybe I'll have those as the upper arms. They seem kind of regal, they've got pieces of armour on them. Cool. Same over here. Other way. There we go. 4 arms, 2 legs, a scythe, and the head. So there's Amalgamous Prime. Still a great fan of the robot mode. I'm looking forward to discovering what alternate modes I can make. And now let's get Big Convoy back into a robot. Such a shame about the misassembled bit here, but I'm going to have to do my research and, as I said, see whether it's something easily fixed by way of using some kind of tool, or if it's something that Hasbro Pulse can help with. I doubt it, because I typically didn't get this from Hasbro Pulse, I got it from somewhere else. So I can totally foresee them being like, oh no, you're going to have to go back to the retailer you purchased it from. Which is unhelpful, but to be expected. Ow. Okay. Get his heels out. Okay, now the dodgy leg. See, yeah, this brown peg here is meant to tab in here, but obviously because of the misassembly it can't actually reach around to do that. Bugger, basically, because it's kind of there to hold that whole piece in place. But that's why I didn't notice it before, because from the front it does look okay, but from the back this bit does stick out a bit further because it doesn't have that flexibility that's required. Anywho, here we are. Almost there. Stick these on here for now. This just makes me laugh, this storage solution. It's like, you know, it's meant to be like that, but it still makes me laugh. It's just so ridiculous. There we go. Big Convoy with his big cannon tucked behind him. And there you go, that's everyone we have unboxed. in this Transformers Tuesday stream. Big Convoy. Bit of a letdown with that, but it's not the figure's fault. It's the assembly's fault. Something must have gone wrong on the production line. What I'm interested to know is if any others were affected and what people did about them. Because that's going to be the thing that I look into post-stream. Amalgamous Prime. Better than expected. Annoying that the head keeps falling off. Great robot mode. Interested to see what wonderful things I can make with him. Bone Shaker and Twin Mill, also better than expected. Twin Mill, great conversion. Bone Shaker needs a little bit of practice, but still looks brilliant. But Twin Mill, I think, still has the better robot mode. Annoying accessory for Bone Shaker. I wish it was something that was not so obnoxious in vehicle mode. I think it's a bit of a niche reference for what TF Wiki said earlier, that it's from that art style reference for like hot rod drawings with grotesque animals driving it with a giant gear stick. Like this just looks ugly to me. But there's no better place to store it. So Rat Fink cars, that's it. Thank you, Space. Yeah. I mean, can I like? There's some pieces here that they are on hinges, but I don't think I can rotate them out. Oh yes, I can. Okay, that took a bit of force. But then can they close? Fuck. Well, that's somehow not as good, but unofficial weapon storage, there you go. Have it loose and rattling around as he speeds around the Hot Wheels course. Okay, there we go. And for completion's sake, I will put these effect parts back onto Twin Mill. Right, I'm pooped. I spent almost as long as I do on a normal stream doing all this. I can't believe I estimated to Hannah that I would only take 2.5 hours. There's a lot of stop-start, there's a lot of figuring things out, but yeah, there we go. So I'm going to call it there. No raid, just because it's a one-off stream, and I'm tired, so I'm going to go. No idea when the next Transformers Tuesday will be. I'm sure there will be one at some point. Not anytime soon, though. Give my wallet a rest, give it a chance to cool down. Thank you all for tuning in. Knight, thanks for the unboxing. Thank you, Pagan, no problem. I will see you guys tomorrow for some Greedfall. Have a wonderful evening. Farewell.